All right, the glow of the season. You know, when Spirit gives me these titles, I never know where we're going. Well, we're going someplace quite specific today. All right. As I said earlier, I hope everyone felt a bit of that Christ light in your journey and in your Christmas celebrating. And when we feel that, I cry. I don't know about y'all. I always cry. But you feel this movement in your heart, don't you? You feel this opening of something wonderful coming up inside you. That is a moment when your higher self is moving through your physicality. When that spark of divinity within you is awakening and you're connecting with the greater consciousness of allness, and you just feel one with all there is. Isn't it amazing? And this is what we want to grow all the time. And that divine dip was perfect for this Sunday service. What typically happens to us is in a few days, we'll go back. Of course, we'll do our affirmations for our burning bowl on our New Year's Eve, and we'll set our intentions. And then who takes over, do you think, once we've set those intentions for the new year? Our human self. Our human self goes, yes, we're going to make this happen. Ego kicks in. Personality's right there. We're all excited. We're going to make this world different. And that's good. But this year, I think we should probably strive to do something a little bit different. If we made it a point to hold that Christed oneness in our hearts and grow that this year, our world will take a totally different turn. How we approach things will change tremendously. And that's what I wanted to talk with y'all about today. You know, Spirit was talking to me about when we're in the oneness. You know, when you just feel that beautiful, In that oneness, there is all-knowing. In that oneness, there is all connection. You're one, harmony, peace. But think about on the earth. We have opportunities where we get to think and we get to be strategic, don't we? We have opportunities here where we get to bond. We get to love somebody and feel our distances and let our light move to one another. We have opportunities where we get to let our physical bodies be aware of themselves. This earth is phenomenal. It gives our spirits such a wonderful opportunity. And we have so delved into it that we've kind of separated our connection, but what if it's time to bring our connection back? Most of you, when I say birth your Christ, let your Christ guide you, most of you think or have this vision that this great spirit was going to descend within you and you're going to become its puppet. And then you're going to have to be perfect. And birthing the Christ is not that at all. When you follow the pattern of Jesus, birthing the Christ means the Christ within you comes as an infant. It comes as this beautiful, pure, tiny infant in your heart. A beautiful space where you are perfect. And then we have to consciously allow that perfection space to grow. And Spirit said this: the purity cannot fit into your current level of consciousness. Do you realize that? You know, we have thoughts, we have ideas, we have fears. We still have fears. We came out of a year of fear. We have concerns. We have all manner of things we're trying to heal. So the perfection that your Christ is would not fit through all of those. We have to grow them. We have, as I mentioned, emotional bodies, mental bodies. You guys have been growing mental bodies, emotional bodies, spiritual bodies, physical bodies. You've been growing these things. Yay, you. They're wonderful. Can the Christ fit in them right now? No, not yet. So we need to allow all of our bodies to yield, to become aware, and allow a higher frequency to move through each of these levels of consciousness. You know? And you guys know, if you meditate, you know how wonderful you can be. You can just be so high and so filled with God love and then turn and yell at somebody. You know, and I've had my famous story when David was a baby and I would be meditating and it was just me and him. Mommy, Mommy. He'd be knocking at the door. I'd completely ignore him. Then he'd open the door and come in. I'm still meditating. And he would be, Mommy, Mommy. He's 2, 3. And I would be from my bliss, and I would turn and I would go, what? Just as fast. Just as fast, because my spirit went into my emotional body from my higher self. You see? So we all have varying degrees that we are working on Christing. But Spirit said this: these bodies have allowed us to journey on this planet. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they've allowed us to journey. We don't want to attack our ways because they are not pure. We want to invite the purity to come through these bodies. Do you see the difference? Invite that purity to move in, and it's going to take step by step, moment by moment, to make this happen. We're going to grow room in our lives for the Christ to experience. So when we follow the story, there was a light. Did you guys have a light this year? Okay, some of us did. There was a light, and now a place of safety needs to be created for the Christ within our hearts, and that comes with having a good mom and a good dad. So we're going to talk about the mom first. If we're following the path of Jesus, what does a mom represent? Nurturing, intuition. Nurturing intuition. What if we, as the human element, looked to our intuition to tune in to our own inner Christ for guidance, for truth, for peace? What if we did that daily? Typically what happens is this: you're meditating. Everybody meditate in the morning before you leave out there, everybody? So we're meditating, we're getting filled with the light, we're golden, we go out into our world, and now we're looking at the world around us. Our ego's on. Okay, what's happening there? What's happening here? What do I need to do here? I need to react there. I need to create something there. And we're boom, 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 boom. How many times during that day do you stop, breathe, go within your heart and say, okay, is this mine to do? How many times do you stop and do a divine dip in your quiet mind? How many times do you stop during the rubble and say, oh, let me be with this? My bosses, when I was in corporate, did not know what that meant when I would stop and breathe and say, I want to be with this. But I knew what it meant. I'm going to go talk, feeling my energy. It may not be time. We're tuning in to the intuition. We cannot learn to nurture our own inner Christ if we have the beautiful God, I'm one with you, and then we go out not connecting through the day. We have to become a mother. Have you ever been around a baby? How often do you need to tend that baby? All the time. Needs to be fed, needs to be handled, needs to be talked to. You tend the baby all the time. To nurture your inner Christ means all the time. All the time. And I talked to you guys about the steps that you can take. The first thing that we've talked about many, many times, the first thing I learned in metaphysics is to shut your eyes and ask my heart. I'm asking the Christ I am, that infant within me, to show me what yes feels like and to show me what no feels like. And when I get the yes, it's normally an opening, relaxation. When I get the no, it's normally like a closing. And we've done that in here, haven't we, before? You want to do it again right now? Just shut your eyes. Y'all shut your eyes. And just turn your heart, go within your heart, and say, my God's all around me. The Christ in me, that infant within me. Show me what yes feels like. And show me what no feels like. And you can open your eyes. And y'all, it may be so subtle, but there is a difference. Could you feel the difference? And the more you tune in and just say, show me what I need to see. You get the yes or the no. Boss comes in and says, I need you to do this right now. Okay, let me be with it. Breathe in. Okay. No. And then you'll get more good at it. Okay, why no? What do I need to do instead? And then you'll start getting guidance and you'll start feeling the information coming to you. But just yes or no is your first step. The second question that you ask when you're doing anything is this for my highest and best good? Hey, Cindy, let's go shopping. Do you think anybody who asks me to go shopping expects me to say no? No, because I love to shop. I love it. I don't get out very often, as you can see. So, I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Let me be with it. Okay. Dang it, it's no. Going within. Okay, no for today? Okay. So you go within, always go within. Is this for my highest and best? Is this right for me? And I will remind you of what I used to do in corporate when I was working at for a gentleman who had multiple companies. And so I worked in his hangar, actually, and in his office. And I handled the business of all of his companies. It's about 5 or 6. And, you know, crazy things going on. And I had to deal with spirit. I said, if I am off track with anything, please stop me in my tracks. And so I'd be working on something. This is before computers. This is manual. You guys, any history buffs out there? This is before computers, before cell phones. Everything was manual. I would get a headache. I would stop. I would put everything away that I was working on, and I would say, okay, Spirit, show me what I'm missing. And my little heart would get tight if I didn't. It wouldn't just be a headache. I'd start getting, you're in the wrong place, you're in the wrong place. Show me what I need to see. I would open up one of the drawers, and in the drawers would be a report that was due at the bank tomorrow. Oh, good. I need to get that report done. So I would pull it out and get it done, and I never missed a deadline. And let me also tell you, I did not know what I was doing. I was not a pro. I did not keep those balls in the air like it's nobody's business. I could do that with some things, but not with this. There was too much going on. But Spirit, with my inner, with my connection, kept me on the path that I needed to be on for that time that I needed to be there. Do you think that grows your intuition? Absolutely grows your intuition. And then I went and, before that I was at a different job. When I was working for him at that time, I was going to school, getting ordained. Before then, when I first got into metaphysics, and my first taste of a little quiet mind, every lunch in corporate, and that was 9 to 5, accounting, every lunch, I would get my little quiet mind out, and I would dip into it. And I would take a few minutes just to breathe. Show me what I need to see. I might even ask a question. Here's my question. If I couldn't get my answer here, here's my question. Talk to me. Oh, it's beautiful. Show me what I need to see. These tiny, tiny, tiny little tools, if you do them every day, keep you nurturing the inner Christ within so it can grow through what? The emotional body, the mental body, the physical body in that beautiful inner knowing kingdom. Recently, Spirit said to me, actually when I was sick, they said, we're going to change some of the stuff that you do. And we want you sometime between the hours of 4 and 5. We need you to meditate. It doesn't have to be long, but you need you to go away, sit down, and meditate. And so it's been hit and miss. I'll look at the clock and it's way late or I've forgotten. But more often than not, I have been. My intention is to do it. When I skip a day, I get upset, but I do the next day. And you know what I found? When I meditate, one thing is consistent. I am full of everybody else's stuff. And I start breathing. It's like, oh my gosh, that flows out and that flows out and that flows out. They needed me to cleanse because of my work, because of what I do, because of where I am. All of us are out in the world. They needed me to cleanse for a few minutes to get back into my own energy, to get back into my own guidance. It's very difficult to find guidance when you're worried about somebody else. It's very difficult to hear when you're carrying 50 people on your back. And how many of you walk through life doing that? We start great in our morning, we've meditated, but now we've got this and this and this and this. So it was just, I didn't know why they asked me to do it, and I'm certainly grateful. And maybe it will evolve into something else. But for now, that's what it has been. Time to let go, time to clear the people. Anything that you can do daily that lets your conscious mind connect with your inner Christ is a baby step toward developing that expression. And you're nurturing that beauty within you because inside your divinity, you guys already know. We already live in bliss. We know harmony. We know oneness. We're all one. We love each other dearly. There's no, we are love together. We don't even love each other. There's no separation. We are one, But letting that little bit start moving through to affect how we act and how we treat each other. Okay. We always ask God to show me the plan. And sometimes we get it clear, sometimes we get a clip. Sometimes we get a wait, be patient, you don't know. Those are hard, aren't they? This is a sidetrack. I always ask Spirit when something's going down major in the country. Normally they'll come tell me something's getting ready to go down, you're fine, don't worry about it. 2008, market fell in the 90s as well. You guys don't remember that? But Spirit always comes and says, something's happening, you guys are good. Well, this time I didn't get the warning. And so I've asked Spirit many times, why did you not come and tell me something's happening and we'll be okay? And there was silence. And then recently, Spirit said, do you not see? You had to walk through it. You had to hold the faith without knowing. You had to have experiences that you did not want to have. You had to walk through it. And if we had told you you had to walk through it, you would have been terrified. And you wouldn't have done a good job. But you had to walk through it. Sometimes we can't see the bigger plan. But you know what we can always see? What is my next step? What's my next step? And that comes from in here. What's my next step? God, I want to see the plan, but I can certainly see my next step. What's in front of me today? And when we start moving that, this heart participates. This heart can guide us. So how we respond, the plan's God's. How we respond is ours, which is the divine dip you guys read. Who did that? Charmaine, you read that earlier. Okay. How we respond is us learning how to express our Christ, and it lets us respond in alignment with the plan, even if we don't know the plan. So I'm going to tell you one thing that I'm working on, which means somebody out here is also working on it. When we live on planet Earth, we are schooled to develop egos and personalities. And the ego and personality is designed to keep you in survival mode. Ego keeps you alive, and personality gets you what you need. Do you see the difference? Ego kind of makes sure you're safe. And you can be controlling in both aspects. But our personality, I know for a fact when I am speaking from my personality, but I don't know it when I'm doing it. Do you know it just slips on out there? It's like, oh, that was not the Christ in me that just said that. Oops. And you never mean to hurt or harm, but one of my things is I try to be funny. I'm not. It was a survival skill when I was a little girl, being unlovely. As a kid, you find a survival skill. So I was the unlovely, funny child, so I was accepted. So that was my go-to, to be funny, and I've never let it go, but I've never perfected it either. And so I am so aware that I'll say something and go, oh, that did not come out like it was supposed to. And then I ask myself, do you always want to speak as the Christ? Yes, is my answer. Yes, I do. I do want to speak as the Christ. I do want to have that energy of love, support, and excitement, because Christ gets excited, don't you think? Don't you think Jesus would eat ice cream if he was here? Absolutely. This is a beautiful world for us to express. So if I have those areas of the limited expression, I think we all do. But when we're awake to that, we can go, oh, even if it's just to ourselves, oops, not what I really feel inside. Not what I really feel inside. Are you with me on the mother? The mothering aspect of your own inner Christ, it is daily. Once you make a commitment, it's daily. Spirit gave me to 2021 a couple of months ago what we were going to start with in our Sunday services, and it's all about becoming that Christ consciousness, following Jesus, actually becoming that. And it's a process. So this is our step one. We can't jump from personality and ego to walking on water. We have to integrate that light. So remembering to create space. And then we need a dad. And you know, the male energy is action. It's actually taking action. The first step that Cindy had to learn was, and I used to do this a lot, I would meditate. In corporate, you know, you drag out to lunch all the time. You always got to go out to lunch and sort of. So I'd sit at the restaurant, look at the menu, go, okay, I'm learning to follow my guidance, and I'd say, okay, what am I going to have? Okay, I'll have that. I'm feeling that. I'm going to have that. Okay, so I order it, and someone says, why'd you order that? Then I would complain. Oh, I don't know. I'm just supposed to eat it. That's my male not getting in with the program. That's the action part of me, not saying yes to what the divine intuition is. Do you see? So many times, Patrick and I have such a difficult time relaxing and watching a movie. I know a lot of us do that, watch a movie together, and we have a really hard time because we can't find a movie. And we'll look for a movie for half an hour, trying to find a movie that we can both watch. And then at the end of selecting a movie, sometimes I will say, wait a minute, I'm not feeling good about this. I'll go within, can I watch that movie? No, you cannot. Like, dang it. But I will say to Patrick, I can't watch that movie. Whining and complaining because we just spent half an hour trying to find one. Instead of asking God to show me the right one in the first place, asking for that guidance. And he's gotten to the point now, it used to be, it's like, whoa, now he's gotten to the point where, okay, I'll watch something else. Or I will get very specific. I can't watch that movie today, maybe next week sometime. I'll be in a space where I can handle and process every bit of data that will come into me from that movie. Because you are bombarded by every bit of data from everything you watch. Anyway, that's our side note. But do you see how my male is not responding well? My male is not responding well to taking care of that infant child. So the male in me, that action of me, has to learn to... Does anybody do what I do? Okay, one person, two people. Okay, great. So the action in us has to learn to support the internal guidance that we get, and we have to act on it. If we are told to do something here, then we do it. If we are told to do something here, we do it. If we're told not to do it, then the action has to say, you know what? I have no idea why, but I'm being told to hold right now. So I'm going to have to bow out or say, I'm sorry, or I'm sure you'll find somebody else, but do you hear what I'm saying? The male has to step up to support the guidance of the female. And anyone who had bickering parents when you were little, isn't that what most of them did all the time? The mom is saying one thing and the dad saying, oh, heck no, instead of them coming together to try to support the baby. And then what did you as a child do? Hide in your room? Go to a closet, go outside, write yourself a note, I'm never going to have kids, or I'll never get married, or something like this? Yeah. We treat our inner intuition, the Christ within, the same way. And we don't want to do that. We want to follow, we want to be strong enough as action to stand for our guidance, no matter what it is. And we never will know completely why, but we will know enough to see the steps coming together most of the time. Sometimes we never know why we're guided to do something, but we know it's setting up a frequency in the universe that needs to be set up. Everybody say, I know all this. When you allow the male action part of you to participate, it will seek action every day. It will go to the intuition. Hey, have you checked in with your intuition yet? Oh, I don't know what to do. Hey, female, intuition, get down there, check with that infant baby. What's happening? It will stimulate that connection because it wants to be guided without our action. Now, I'm using these energies symbolically, but they do exist within you. The intuition and the action do exist within you as separate locations. So we want them connecting to the internal Christ, the divine I am. When we stop and remember that we are here to create space so that the Christ I am can grow into expressing through my mental body, my emotional body, my spiritual body, and my physical body. when the Christ I am can express through all that I am in all of my bodies, then I have fulfilled my soul, my destiny. We teach all the time that when the Christ love is dominant in every chakra and every thought, then you are Christing. But let's take it baby steps, because I can say that to you all day long. You go, okay, okay, I'll try. But let's do baby. Christ in your mind, guidance, actions, so that it moves through all of our bodies. Spirit said this, if we can Christ our actions, the male aspect, it melts competition. It allows creative expression. It definitely turns the mind to intuition, and it looks for divine connections and divine purpose. Our action wants to know why. Our intuition is content with what's my next step. Our action wants to build something. Our intuition is content. It will seek divine purpose. It will seek divine everything, that action part of us. Every moment links to eternity. Acting as if you are God's child growing, these moments become powerful pearls in the connection. I am God's child growing. I'm letting that divine I am move through me. In this moment. If you can feel it, can you feel it when I say that? Mm-hmm. Everything comes to you, comes into a focal point of you. Then Spirit said this, if you will do these things, if you will honor that light and you will nurture that light and you will act on that light and protect that light, God will then finish the story for you. God will bring celestial support with the angels. God will bring the wisdom that you need with the wise men. God will bring financial support for you. All the gold and money you need will come. But if you do this for money, you're not doing it. Do you see the difference? If you do it for spirit, spirit creates matter. Everything comes to support your spiritual journey. And the higher knowledge comes, the financial support comes, and then the shepherds come. And they're my favorite. I told you that last time. These are the friends, the people on your journey with you, the people doing the same thing, the people walking in that same path with you. God brings everything that you need to sustain and support this journey, step by step as you need it. Step by step as you need it. For many of us, it's a rocky road. Some of our journeys have been kind of rocky. We've had to learn in challenging ways. The more we open our intuition, the more we're taking a different path. And this is a path of harmony. It's a path of love. It's a path to trying something new and different. So, during this year, we're moving away from focusing on this umbrella of protection we've been calling forth and trying to move into actually knowing we are divine, actually knowing it, and then allowing it to express through us to bless the whole. So we're going to check our intuition throughout the day. We're going to act in support of that. And every day we're going to grow a little bit toward that divine understanding. So easy, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's go within. Put your feet on the floor. God, we open our hearts. And I ask that your love just fill everyone in this room and that hears my voice. I ask that the strength of your Spirit move through our hearts and that each of our own consciousness becomes so centered that we feel a light coming over us, we feel empowered, we feel at peace. And I would invite each of you just to allow your focus to go to that heart Your heart center within, imagine it. And just ask to sense or see or touch or feel your inner Christ, that infant within you. That space that you wakened, that space that you called forth during a moment. And just get a visual of whatever you see. And see the purity. See the beautiful love moving through the space. This Christ light in you, this infant in you, has never left the kingdom of God. It is perfect. Let it flow. And breathe. Somehow in your mind's eye, imagine that you can touch the vibration of this Christ infant. And if you are ready, you can make a commitment. If you are hopeful, you can make a statement. But take a moment to speak to that Christ that you see. And feel the Christ, the infant, respond. Feel the love of God supporting you. And let your awareness come back into your physical body, into the chair. And gently open your eyes. I am child of God. How do you guys feel?
I'm a child of God.
It's going to be a big year, y'all. It's going to be a big year. This is your first step. Keep your eye on the divinity that we are manifesting. And we'll all be there together. Say, yay, God.